Just for fun to kind of kick it off, could you maybe share just like a fun memory that you look back fondly on from the trip?
My favorite memory was after prayer and journal. Every night we would do, with some of the chaperones and the kids, we would do card games, which was really fun. We played Uno, Exploding Kittens, and then other just regular card games. And I think without that, the trip would have been a lot less because we had a lot of laughs every night with those. I grew a lot closer with everybody who I didn't know going into the trip through those, and it just kind of bridged the gap in a lot of the relationships. So that was really fun.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but specifically Exploding Kittens. I've only played that game like once before, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun playing it. I always wanted to play it every night, and I think it helped everyone get a lot closer together, and really made the experience overall more enjoyable because you're doing stuff with people that you get along with, and
I think similarly, things that brought us together was weirdly the dishes. You're just sitting there doing the dishes. The bucket got so gross that we were all just sitting there laughing because it was
standing there.
Oh yeah, we were all standing there laughing. And I don't know, I feel like that brought us all really, really close together. And then even the rides in the van, we all got super close because we would just make song suggestions and we just listen to music wherever we would go. And on the way there, the night we first got there, it was me, Tate, and Tyler in the back, and we were so close to throwing up because the ride was so bumpy.
He's a dark risk.
Yeah, and we were just sitting there laughing, and everyone else in the front was sleeping. And we were just laughing. It was funny.
I agree. Another fun memory for me was at the Women's Center. We were able to wash clothes, like all of the women who use the Women's Center do. So, like Greg said, we brought cotton clothes. Most of us did, at least.
Then it was cotton, right? It's just dead sleep.
Hard cotton.
And one of the last things that she taught us how to do was wring the clothes out before you put them on a clothing line to dry. And so some of the other kids and I were really trying to wring them out to try and show her that we're pretty good at this. We can get them pretty darn dry. And she was wringing out the other people's clothes and was finding a lot of water. So we were we're gonna get it so it's totally dry. And so a couple of us give her the clothes that we were probably 5-10 minutes just wringing out, and she just takes one quick light ring and just a waterfall of water still falls out. You're just how does that happen?
And she's got iron grip on
But that was really fun.
The dishes was good. That was a good place for us to just resolve any conflict that had built up throughout the day, yell at each other. One time we would just set the dishes out to dry, and there was bird poop all over the dishes. So we had to do double the dishes, and we just let it all out, get splashing that gross water on each other, and I don't know. So it was really just every minute. Okay, more serious. What was something meaningful that you experienced in San Lucas or any of the other towns that we went to?
I really enjoyed the process of the charity morning because not only did we donate the money or just shop for the food and supplies or just deliver it, but we got to do all of that. So being a part of that whole process was really impactful for me. like even just shopping and seeing how people in Guatemala go about their daily lives for food and supplies and stuff like that was very educational for me and very interesting. But then my favorite part was obviously delivering the bags to the families in great need of them, because they were just so grateful and so gracious, like Greg was saying earlier, about welcoming us in and blessing us when we left. And it was just really powerful to see how far those donations and that morning shopping went for them.
I think one of the big things for me was Mass. We went to, well, the kids went to 2 Masses, the adults went to 3. But we went to Mass. We went to Mass with all of the school kids. I think it was like Thursday morning, Friday morning, and all of them were like sitting there, like singing all the songs, like they knew every single word, and they all like brought money to like put in the basket. And I was like, we like weren't expecting them to like ask for money at the kids' Mass, so we're like, oh, we don't need to bring money. But then they were like, and then the second Mass we went to, it was really powerful because there's this woman that was singing, and she was like carrying her baby like on her back while she was singing. And then all these like little kids were just like running through the church in the middle of Mass. There's this like one kid who's probably like 1 year old. He was like walking around and like giving everybody the sign of peace. And then he like got up and he like looked at Carlos and he was like, whoa. And he just turned around and ran back to his mom. And I think like just seeing all of like these people at Mass and like everyone was just like so excited to see us and like greeted us with a smile on their face. I think it was really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Another meaningful thing for me was being at Peace Park. We saw a few pictures of that, which was in the town Santiago, neighboring to San Lucas. And we were able to learn about history that I'll speak for just myself here right now, but like I never knew about. So we learned a lot more about the Guatemalan Civil War, and specifically about the massacre that occurred on December 2nd, 1990 there. And so that was extremely meaningful to be able to be in a location that I wish I knew things about because of the U.S.'s involvement in the war, but I haven't learned that yet. And so being able to be at the exact location where people were killed, and it was a beautiful and sad reminder that I have like so much to learn and so much still like sadness to discover about history, and at the same point also joyful things. But that was very meaningful to be able to be there and be at the graves, or not the graves, but the monuments for them.
For me, I would say one of the most meaningful things is having all the guest speakers come and talk to us and talking about like the history of everything, because we're in San Lucas after like all the effects of having like people from the mission come and like all like the work that they put in. So we're seeing like the fruits of that, and we're here and we get to hear about like how it was before, so we can really see the difference that has been made.
Yeah, I'm going to try to share for Tate. I don't know what he would say exactly, but something I heard him say quite a bit like during the trip was just making connections with people, and that was something that was meaningful for me too. But I think like this goes back to Tasha and Cadence too. They did such a good job interpreting for us, and they like right at the beginning they said like, if you have a question for someone, don't look at me to like interpret. Like look at the person you're asking, and then I'll translate what you said. But I think they really like made everyone that we met. I mean, everyone was so nice anyway, but that made it like possible to connect with them on that deeper level. And I know he had mentioned several times like just various people that we'd met. So I know we talked about this on the trip in our reflection time, but what's something that you want to take from this experience and bring home with you? And I shared with the group too recently, like once you're back, you're kind of back in your normal rhythm and routine, and it's easy to.
You got a new watch?
Ooh, and new shoes. I got new. These aren't them. I got new shoes. I loved getting ripped off. That was my favorite. That was my favorite memory. It's easy once you're back in, your daily routine here, whatever, to just lose. Like you're not there anymore. And I know for me it was like, oh man, I'm right back to all the same old stuff I was doing. But I know there are things that we can take and slowly implement into our lives and change. So I'm wondering, like, what are some of those things, and how are you able to, even if it's just small steps or incremental growth, what are those things?
I think that one thing for me that I really want to take back is to not take like money for granted as much, because like here it's a lot. We have so many opportunities to make a lot of money, even just at like our age and being young, that in like San Lucas and other parts of Guatemala, like they don't have anywhere near like that type of opportunity. And like a lot of people are only making like in a day money that we would get just like walking in the door. So it really like gave me perspective on like how lucky we really are here and how like grateful I should be for everything.
Other thing for me is just a mindset switch as well, about being grateful for things. Like, for example, I'll wake up in the morning and instead of dreading making my bed, I'll think, wow, I have a bed that I can make. And it's like there's just so many little things like that throughout my day that I've noticed and have been starting to switch in my head. And it just makes the days a lot more joyful and more beautiful, because you realize how much we really have. And it's just, there's so many things that we take for granted that we think we're entitled to or that everybody has, and it's just not true. So it's just that mindset of truly being grateful for every little thing we have in our days, because each day comes with its own unique little blessings and gifts from the Lord.
I'm definitely going to take the connection to the dead there. We were able to, as you saw in the pictures, see Father Greg's burial, and maybe you could see in the sides of the pictures, but all of the tombstones were one above ground, or most of them were above ground, but two so colorful and joyful. And it was incredible to hear from people that we visited in their homes, and were able to just maybe overhear, but how vocal they were about their loved ones who had passed. And that will be, like, that is very influential for me and hopefully more people as well, because those who pass away, like, they aren't gone forever, and maybe, and at least in America, maybe more of a culture of not talking about it or not talking about them. But in Guatemala, it was very much celebrated, and it was just the rebirth of a new relationship. And so I'm very grateful to have been in the cemeteries there and to be able to take that to back here, just being able to have a new relationship with those we love, because they might not be here physically, but they are still here in our heart.
I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from it is just celebrating the little things in life, and just like remembering that we are very fortunate for the life that we have, and for the people that we share that life with.
I do think, like, just adding on to what you shared, Emma, something that we saw pretty much we really had cake probably every day. Like, we just celebrated every little thing, like things that we would not celebrate. And one example that was really cool that we just got to witness right at the end, our very last evening there, we were getting back to the hotel pretty late. And when we first arrived, the bus couldn't get all the way in because there was like a pile of sand and a pile of like rubble blocking the street. And throughout the week we were there, they were continuing work on this street right there in front of the hotel. And the last day we were there, they completed it. All the work was done. And so the neighborhood they put like streamers up on the street. And I was talking to one of the women that worked at the hotel, and she was telling me, like, are you going to be here to celebrate? We're going to have a marimba band come, and like we're going to celebrate the street. And it was like one corner. Like, it was not that much, but it was nice. They did good work. But they were celebrating that and Minor was telling me it's been like over a year since they've been working on this project, It's just been slow going, but they're like going to celebrate that they completed it, or just going and visiting someone's home and we bring cake and ice cream, or, just find like, really just like, we are blessed with so much, and there's so many people less fortunate than us, but they like know how to just find joy in all those little things. I think it was really beautiful. One of my big takeaways was something that Tess just said, how everyone blessed us. Like, everywhere we went, we would be with someone for a little bit, and they would say, que Dios les bendiga, que Dios les acompañe, and like, may God be with you, may God bless you, everywhere we went. And that's something that I really want to take from that, is just blessing people as we encounter, and I want to say thank you to all of you for all of your support and making this happen, because I know it was a huge blessing for all of us that were there, and hopefully those blessings will continue to be multiplied in the rest of our lives, and everywhere, we'll take that and let God do his work in our hearts and be blessings to everyone that we encounter through the lessons that we learned and the people that we met. So thank you so much. It really was a joy, and I'll be praying for all of you too. And as I know we got some going off to college, and some will be around, but as we're going different ways and stuff, I'm grateful that we were able to reconnect right now, and please know that I'm praying for you, and I hope that each of you will continue to pray for the mission and those that we're able to meet, even if it's just like maybe it's just like when you remember being down there, or when you remember something, just taking a moment and say, Lord, just bless all those people. And so thank you all for making it happen. Thank you all for being part of this trip. I'm hopeful that this was just the first time bringing it back for the youth trip, and hopefully every year we'll be able to continue doing it. And down the line, if you're home for the summer, you want to be a chaperone for one of the youth trips or something, you should definitely do that and look into that. And I think this was such a beautiful thing I was talking about this earlier too. Like, I think this parish community, there's some people that have been to San Lucas and stuff, but I think there's a really beautiful opportunity for us to really engage the whole community in supporting this mission and the good work that they're doing. And you guys were kind of like the seeds of that, which was really awesome. So thank you all very, very much. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for tolerating my work in this. But really, it means so much that to have your support in this, and in such an important work. And so bless you all. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah, thank you.
leading this.